Hey guys, it's Donnie. This is episode 11 of Eat It Up, Buffalo Eats Own podcast, and a proud member of Audio Buffalo. Today, worlds are colliding. We have Chris and Mac from BuffaBLOG, and you've probably, if you've heard of this, you probably have heard their show, BuffaBLOG Radio, which airs every Friday on Audio Buffalo. Basically, they write for BuffaBLOG, which is Buffalo's best music blog, and probably only music blog, but still best music blog. They cover local shows, they cover national acts, local acts. I've learned a lot about the local music scene, and I've actually been impressed how much they've introduced me to really good music that's made, right here in our backyard. We had them on the podcast because I wanted to talk about how the site's grown. I mean, they've started reaching a huge audience lately, and I wanted to talk to them about what that's been like and how they've got into music. And then we even talked about the food in the area and where they like to eat and some topics that are kind of relevant right now. So I hope you guys enjoy the talk. On March 31st, which is in a couple days, they are having their second annual birthday party at Nietzsche's. I went to the first one, and it was awesome. I've also went to their holiday party, which was also awesome. On the podcast today, we're actually featuring two local artists who are going to be performing at the show. To start the show was Voodoo Friends with Dying Light, and he'll be DJing throughout the set, or I guess throughout the show while bands are setting up and taking down their stuff. And then to end the show, we have Early Attic with their song Shadow. Both these bands will be at the show with 3 others, so check it out. I will be there. Has there been a big difference in the show since Audio Buffalo, or is it pretty much the same thing?
It's been a little looser.
You mean like when we were on the radio?
Yeah. Like, what do you guys, has it like changed at all?
We kind of do it now. It's like the first segment is anything like news-wise that's happened in Buffalo since the last show, whether it be music. Chris touches on just a little sports.
I like it a lot more now.
I like it more too.
I feel looser, like you said. Like I can do whatever I want.
It was a little
now.
too structured, and that was probably my fault before, just because I wanted I didn't want us just to not have anything.
Well, we also had a 60-minute block on the radio.
Yeah.
Had to do what we had to do.
So then we do a second segment that's kind of open, and then the third segment is Chris and I giving our suggestions for what music shows to see over the weekend or during the week. So, and then we try to have 3 local tracks on each one.
Yeah.
So we've been doing pretty good with that.
Yeah, I like a lot. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys in Podform kill it.
This isn't the show. Are we recording?
Yes, we're recording.
I noticed you getting closer.
You don't have to get too close, I think. Right, Tom?
I'm sure it's pretty good.
I'm going to have a laissez-faire approach.
yeah, whatever.
No, that in Podform they're funny.
He's got a great radio voice. That Purdy.
Yeah.
That voice is made for radio.
Were you guys on the ground floor of BuffaBLOG when it started?
Chris started before I did.
Yeah, it was Bill and Katie.
Okay.
In March, and then I joined
March of 2010.
Yeah, and then I joined in on April.
Yeah.
And then we picked up one more after that. Then you were next.
Yeah, I did a couple guest posts during the fall.
Okay.
I did the Broken Social Scene preview and stars.
Yeah, we only had 5 people for a good 8 months.
Really?
So our content was nothing.
Yeah, then Bill in December's Katie and I each selected one of each other's friends to do it, and Katie said that Bill should ask me. He's like, just do it. Say yes. I'm like, yeah, I've wanted to do my own music blog for a while, and this saves me the trouble. So I've been full time since January 1st of 2011.
How big is the staff now?
We just brought in 3 more people.
16. We
lost
one.
Some people are limited. Some people only do 1 post a week or 0 posts a week.
Yeah. I think we're at 13. Lost 1, but gained 3. So that's.
Yeah, no, I mean it's 16. Nice that we have more people now because we don't have to overload. There was when there was just 4 or 5 of us, we'd be doing 4 or 5 posts a week.
There's no way we
each.
could do every preview.
And so now, I make the schedule. I try to keep it at tops 3 posts a week per person. Yeah. And usually it's only 3 if someone has a press pass and has to do a review the next day. I try to keep it at 2, especially for us. We do the cover MTV album of the thing.
Yeah, the senior guys only do the set Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday ones. I think we get a lot less posts.
I like how they're senior guys. They have to.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of do
put in 2 years of work.
I do a lot of free posts. If I see there's a local news that just came up, I just post it. So I don't assign myself much anymore, but I still end up doing 3 or 4 posts a week.
But it's nice having that many people. It's something will get announced like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and just send out an email. It's 16 people getting it, not 5 people getting it.
Yeah.
Someone's bound to be like, yeah, I'll do that, just announce. So.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you and Allie, right? Like, essentially. And
it's really me. I mean, Allie edits all my stuff, but I'm the primary writer. We have 3 people that we're in talks with to join. But
I would love to have a full-time editor because I look at most of the posts, but I still miss stuff. But like, it's hard. We're not paying anybody.
Yeah. I mean, and
that's what we can't get mad at anybody.
Matt
gets mad.
I get mad sometimes. Like,
he wants like all previews before noon, which makes sense because if you're at your computer,
but like, someone doesn't do their posing, and I get too into it. Like
but they're kids that will quit. Like they don't need this shit.
Well, so
I know. I have to like calm down a bit.
If anything, though, it is a resume thing. Like a lot of people have been using it for like school.
Well,
and stuff.
Because it's all tagged, so you can use it as an online portfolio.
Nice.
You know? So some people want to go into writing, so they actually put effort into it.
What like Bill was the founder, correctly?
Bill and Katie, yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit! I just knocked this over.
That's all right.
They were on their way to a Wilco show.
Okay.
And then Wilco, and that's when they decided they wanted to.
Now he's not even. He left Buffalo, correctly? He's in
Seattle.
But is he still head of operations?
He'll periodically throw in like I'm the boss email bullshit.
He oversees stuff. Like he sends suggestions. I'm like, delete.
But since he's left, he started a new one in Seattle.
Yeah, I was just talking.
We had someone go to Atlanta, like so. It's
So what is so is there like a network name for all this or?
Nah, Bill's overall goal was that he wanted like a Craigslist of music blogs.
Wow.
And thankfully we've had writers move, so
yeah.
But
so what was the list of the cities that you guys are?
It's gone from Buffalo, Rochester, Seattle, Atlanta, Nashville, and then I think a Chicago one might be started.
Yeah, Nashville was the most recent one.
Wherever Luke goes, although Luke's going to take a little time to get started because he's got to get acclimated to grad school and everything.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's amazing how accepted, or I'm trying to think of a good word for that. How like the kids that left were okay with starting a new one.
Sean's done a really good job in Atlanta,
taking on a lot of.
He's giving me a lot of good. I mean, he's the one that brought up the whole thing about the Twitter thing.
Yeah,
and he sent me an updated template for press passes for getting like big acts, and it's great because it talks about the whole blog family. And he says it's been working. Like he got Radiohead press passes in Atlanta.
Really?
Wow.
With that. Shit.
And like. So like we haven't gotten anything like the biggest we've gotten. I mean, venue here is Town. I mean, I can get UB stuff, but I work at UB, so that's different.
We got Camp Bisco last year.
Yeah,
3-day festivals.
Yeah, but we haven't got anything at the HSBC arena, whatever it is now.
Was there like a point where you like couldn't believe like that you got like was there like do you remember like the first free concert that you got was there like a feeling like this is awesome?
The big one was when we got like 5 passes to Cut Copy in Toronto.
Oh yeah,
they just like kept giving it to us. They like emailed like because I
like Cut Copy the opening band.
And they're like, hey, do you guys want like 4 passes? I'm like, yeah.
How about a photo pass?
So many passes. So we brought like 4 or 5 of us up there. We all got them for free.
Yeah, the first couple of months.
But I was worried about that because we drove all the way up there. I wasn't sure if it was sold out. Yeah. And like, it's easy when you go to Town Ballroom. If you don't have a pass, you can just go home. But like,
you realize that you're like we're talking to somebody who's not in charge at all.
But I've gotten a lot better. Like now that I have a smartphone, I have like the emails on file.
Nice.
I didn't have a smartphone at the time, so I had nothing to work off of.
It was definitely surreal at first. Like, we just have to walk up and say we're on the list, and don't really have to return anything to them. Like, we always do a review. Whatever,
I'm still hesitant every time I go up to a window.
Yeah, oh yeah, because we have been like
I've gone to like 10 shows.
People have promised they'll be there, and we get there and like, no, you're not.
The thing about press passes is you have to write a review, and sometimes you just don't want to write a review for a show, and sometimes. If I know the band really well, I can write a review in my sleep because I know all the stuff. But like, if it's a band like I just kind of want to check out, but don't feel like paying, like, do I really want to write a review? Like, I don't know any of their songs, so sometimes for those I just pay.
Yeah,
and I'll see if another writer wants to do it. Be like, hey, I'll take your +1 if you want. But they have the review. I
was gonna actually ask this later. Like, has music almost become like a chore at all for either of you guys yet? Like, do you find yourself, like, 2 things. Like, one, like, if you go to a concert, like you said, do you think that there's a part of you that can't enjoy it as much as you would if you were just there?
Well, like he just said, like, if it's a band I love, I won't even request passes anymore because I know I'm going to party, and I probably won't remember the show, so I can't write a review. So I'm just going to pay for the ticket. But if we go to a band that I've never heard of, it's a chore.
Hey, guys, just wanted to jump in here and tell you about another sponsor of today's podcast, NOCO. Visit noco.com/podcast and find out how you can earn $20 in Saber Bucks. And now, back to the show.
I was gonna ask, like, when did you guys get into music as like a huge hobby? Because I'm assuming you guys like loved music before you joined BuffaBLOG. Otherwise, why would you have?
Yeah, for sure. Music's always been I don't know, like one of my favorite things. You know, there's sports and music, but music. Like, my parents made me grow up on it. Huge classic rock, like '97 rock. My mom and dad took me to Aerosmith when I was 7, nice. And then again when I was 8. So that's what I was instantly thrown into.
It was Aerosmith that did it.
No, I'm just.
I'm just.
I started so early, and
yeah,
I went through the whole classic rock phase with Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd and all that.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to the jam bands with the Fish and Dave Matthews Band, and that moved into like electronic music. So it's been a long rope, and now I feel so eclectic that I think right after high school is when it really became a hobby.
Yeah,
and I've been playing like guitar and stuff like that for years. So.
I grew up listening to like a lot of like British Invasion and doo-wop and like oldie stuff because my dad's from England, and so I always listened to Kinks, Beatles, Rolling Stones, Jerry and the Pacemakers, that kind of stuff, and then I roll over into like some Beach Boy stuff and like the American classic rock and doo-wop and that kind of stuff. But then when I was discovering my own kind of sound, I remember like what were those things? Columbia House.
Oh yeah,
ordered,
you put the stamps.
Yeah,
on
you put the stamps. Like I remember, like I did that, and I had no clue like the kind of stuff I liked. Like I was just like thinking back, like I know like I had like a Notorious B.I.G. album.
Oh yeah,
and
the
like
double disc.
Alanis Morissette, like all of like the like
Hootie and the
90s
Blowfish.
albums.
And you never had to pay for them.
Yeah,
if you stop paying for them, you just never order from that company.
Yeah, they're like,
again.
you have to order like 7 more within like a year. It's like, no, I don't.
No, I most certainly will not be.
So I never did. They're like, we were going to cancel your subscription. I'm like, oh
no.
Bad. But then when I started getting a little music, like the first album I bought on my own was Green Day Dookie.
Nice.
And I love that. Well, and it was CD.
I had that on tape.
You had it on tape?
Yeah, you're older than I am.
Yeah, I'm a couple years older. But I used to have a paper route, and I used to listen to my paper route, and I could sing every song. I knew every lyric of every song. But then the first band I really had a passion for was Dave Matthews Band, which probably like anybody like, I'm 27, probably like anybody like within like my age bracket like loved in high school, or many people. Not everybody, many people.
Yeah.
The first concert I went to was Dave Matthews and Tim Reynolds at UB Center for the Arts in 1999 when I was a freshman in high school. So I guess that was 99.
Yeah, because we both graduated on that same stage.
Yes. And then it went into like Fish, and then I was at like a Fish concert. I'm like, man, I kind of hate jam music. Like I don't like Fish, and I'm like I don't like dance much when I'm at shows, but I'm like looking at each side of me, I'm like, oh god, what are these people doing? And then the frat boys, the like drunk frat boys that like acted like it was their first beer and concert at Dave Matthews shows, kind of ruined that for me. Then I got into it sounds like stupid, but like I like bought like Kid A by Radiohead, and that kind of like changed it. Like that sounds like so cliche to say, but that actually is like what happened.
Radiohead can change anything.
That's actually what happened.
It's
and
one
then
of
like
the best albums of the decade. So it's
but I feel like
understandable.
everybody's like, oh, this is the album that changed my life, and it's like it kind of did. So and then since then, I like to think my taste has expanded. I'm probably not as broad as Chris is. Like you like a lot of electronic stuff, which I'm not against, just not for me. And you still kind of into some jam stuff like Mo, but
yeah, I mean Mo just came through Tuesday, and I really had no interest in going. I've seen them over 50 times.
Yeah,
it gets oversaturated after a while.
I'm pretty.
I saw a tweet that they ordered I think like a dozen steak sandwiches.
Yeah, they were going to go to the Pink.
Yeah, I'm pretty narrow in my likes or taste. Like I pretty much stick to like indie rock.
The indie rock scene.
But they're cool though. I mean, they hit home. They used to play Broadway Joes every week. In the early 90s.
Yeah.
Ball went to UB, so.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Like, when, did you guys get into the local scene just recently with BuffaBLOG, or before that, were you guys at all interested in what was going on locally?
I think that's what made BuffaBLOG what BuffaBLOG was. Like, we were all really into there was local scene getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But no one was touching it.
Yeah.
There's just that open market for someone to jump on, and that's what we did. So but after that, that's when you get 20 emails a day, like, please check us out. And then your random guy from, Australia.
Yeah.
Hey, I love your blog. I read it every day.
It's like, hey, Buffalo blogger.
Yeah. Read your blog every day.
Like,
I love you. ... By the way, I'm an aspiring artist. You should listen to us.
It's like, I saw you did a post on, like, this indie band. It's like, you probably love my death metal. It's like
other artists you might make.
The first local band I got into was the Old Sweethearts. That's like Roger Bryan, who's Roger Bryan the Orphans, and a couple guys from that band, and then like the 3 guys that are in On Beta, we're all in that together, and they're all like in various bands or involved in various bands on the Hearthstone label. That's the first local band I checked out. I went to them, guys, when JP Lostman was still in the Bills, because I remember, because I used to work for the Bills, and it was like the first year I worked there, and I went to Mohawk Place to see the Old Sweethearts, because I remember I worked part-time at the Center for the Arts as well. My boss went to high school with Eric Rosser, who's the guitar player of the Old Sweethearts. He's like, oh, you guys, you gotta check this out. Like, there's a little like Wilco to them, and I like Wilco, so I'm like, yeah, I'll go check them out. And so I went there. Like, Lostman was there, and like I was a big Lostman fan. I'm like, yeah, man, like JP's into this band
You were
too.
a big JP fan.
So like, yeah, this is when I first started. This is like such an awful story.
There's
like,
a brief period where he was cool.
JP Lostman came next to me. I'm like, hey, I should tell him like I work for the Bills too. And so I'm like,
yeah, completely on the same level.
I know. It's like
together
I'm like, oh hey, like I don't even know like how I said yes. It's like, oh hey, you know, I work for the Bills too. It's like we work for the same. Like I didn't say that, but like he's like, oh, that's cool. And we like talk for a couple minutes. And he's like, oh, let me like get you like a refill or something. I'm like, no, you don't got it. I was drinking like OV, like Old Vienna.
JP Lostman tried to buy you a drink.
I'm like, if you really want to spend like $1.50 on me, that's okay. And then like after like later in the show, like I thought it was gonna be really cool. So I saw like JP go to the bar. I'm like, hey, I'll get JP back. So like I'm like, bartender, I got Lostman, and the guy's like, you owe me like $9. I'm like, what did you just order? Like 4 drinks? He's like a Stoli Raz. I'm like, it was $9 and I had like $10 left of me. I'm like, damn it, Lostman. He would, because I had nothing left on me for the rest of the night.
He would order a Stoli Raz.
We both like the Old Sweethearts. That's the point of the story. But that's really the first local band I ever got into. And then I didn't know a lot of local stuff because I know I just didn't really know what to look into. And then when I started writing for the blog, you kind of like have to figure out the local scene.
Otherwise, you're kind of just
now
like
I can name
blog.
like 50 local bands.
There's a ton.
Not some better than others, but I guess that's how I learned about it. Yeah.
Like, because I've always been a huge music fan, but I don't know why, for some reason, I never even thought to look for, like, good local music. Like, I always just assumed it was horrible bar bands and, like
cover bands?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I never assumed that there was, like, actual
like Kevin
original...
McCarthy. Sorry.
Like, I never assumed there was, like, original music. Like, that could be even close to on par with something national.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that that's a problem with how... Like, what do you think of Buffalo scene? Do you think it does not have enough recognition?
No,
like,
not at all. But
because you guys probably go to a ton of shows, like local shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is the turnout pretty hit or miss?
it depends on the band. Like
Yeah.
you know, like
And
I
it depends
said,
on the venue, I think.
that's true too. But like I said, when we started, there was no one covering it at all. So
besides like Art Voice and their huge list of everything,
which basically looked like the classifieds.
Yeah,
You're trying to go through that. But I like to think of like some of the bands that we started playing while we started the blog, like the Bird Day and the Tins and all that. Look where they are now. Like I think the Bird Day might have they're working on a record contract right now.
I heard
the Tins are down there playing South by Southwest. Like that's
Bird Day recorded several of their songs right where we're sitting right now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the thing I think, and I've talked to some other musicians about the local scene. Like I think they said it's a good place to grow, but like there's definitely a ceiling here, and I think like you have to. Unfortunately, you might have to make a move from the city to do it. Like there's bands that are like right there, like Son of the Sun and Roger Bryan, maybe even a band like the Tins that like maybe like have almost reached their peak in Buffalo.
Yeah,
and, like I don't know how much more they can really do here. Like even like. The Goo Dolls had to leave at some point.
You have to, and you're right. There's a peak. And
so I think, and unfortunately, I think, and I'm not saying these bands that I just mentioned, but I think some bands get to that point and are just content, and maybe they don't want to make it big. Like maybe they're just fine.
It's just like
playing Nietzsche's or Mohawk Place, every couple weeks. But like if you want to get to the next step, unfortunately, I think you might have to move on.
And you see a lot of these bands starting off, not even just one side project, like 2 or 3 or 4, and I guess if you get bored with your one, you move on, but there's not enough focus on just that one, I guess. But the Bird Day did, and now they're...
I mean, do you see, like, any change, like, coming in the scene itself? Like, I mean, you guys have been doing this for 2 years. Have you noticed a big change from over the last 2 years as far as, like, local music goes? Like,
well, it seems like the electronic scene's gotten much bigger.
Electronic scene's huge. Definitely an influx of people, though, at shows. Shows are packed now. But you can go to Mohawk on a Tuesday for, a band that no one's ever heard of, and there'll be 10 people.
Yeah.
But
well, Mohawk's in a tough position because it doesn't have the foot traffic that anything does in Allen.
Yeah, if you're going to Mohawk, it's because you're going to Mohawk.
Yeah, like you could stumble into Nietzsche's or DBGB's or any of those other places that have live music on Allen. And
that's why we never worry about our parties on a Friday or Saturday night at Nietzsche's.
Yeah.
But Mohawk, yeah, you're going there for a purpose. You're not. No one's walking down Mohawk streets, at midnight on a Friday unless they're up to something.
And if they are, you don't want them in Mohawk.
Yeah. So that place I guess has a tough. But yeah, I was just there on Sunday for a show, and there was a good turnout for not a super well known indie band.
Yeah.
So I was happy with that.
That was the Yellow Ostrich.
Yeah, Yellow Ostrich with the Canary Girls opening. Canary Girls, awesome new local.
Not
bands.
Canaries, not girls.
So good though. So good.
Like, is there like a venue that you think is a, like, let's say somebody's just like wants to go to a bar and is like not even looking up what bands are playing. Is there like a venue that you guys feel comfortable that, like, if you go there you're almost always going to get a good show? Is there any venues that stand out that like help with that, or
I guess it depends what kind of music you like, but obviously Nietzsche's or DBGB's on any given night, you can get something decent for $5-10, whatever. Obviously, you're not just going to walk into the ballroom unless you know what's playing there. But there is the Vault across the street, which on a Saturday night can have 8 or 9 bands for $4.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
You'll find something.
I always forget about the Vault.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But like you said, you're not going to just walk into Mohawk or walk into the ballroom for fun. But
I still feel weird about DBGBs. I have mixed feelings.
I've spent so much time there that it's become a second home.
There's two parts to me. It's like, one is so excited that somebody's invested all this money into this building that was literally falling apart.
Yeah, Staples was miserable.
But then
I liked going to Staples.
But then I also loved the horribleness of Staples, that it was falling apart. But and there was like lattice above me, and I was sitting on like
it was like a little cubby hole. I didn't get what was going
but like
on.
now it's almost like a restaurant.
Well, yeah, my buddy's the head chef.
It's like kind of crazy.
It can be a little intimidating for me going there because like I'm not really like into that scene. Like maybe
it's pretty much all electronic.
I can go there.
Right?
I mean, there's a band maybe once a week.
Oh, really?
Like the Canary Girls. That's how I found out about the Canary Girls. I saw they were playing live there one night, and I just threw them on the schedule because it was like a slow night.
Yeah.
And then we sort of kind of really liked them.
Yeah, they have a lot of heavy metal and stuff now too.
Yeah, they do.
Rick Vallone is
some punk stuff too. Yeah.
Rick Vallone left Queen City Cartel to pursue.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's pursuing DBGB's as their like event coordinator essentially, or promoter, and he's real heavy into the harder stuff.
Yeah,
so
punk and
that gets brought through.
rock,
But Friday, Saturday is almost 95% dedicated to either electronic show or Queen City Cartel parties, but that's what draws. It's $3 to $5 on a Saturday. No, but I feel comfortable there. That's a place I can go, have a few drinks already in me, and feel comfortable that I'm not going to be in trouble there. That's but like Max says, it's out of his safety area.
I'll go there like once in a blue moon, and again, I have to have a few drinks with me as well. But it's. I don't know. I'm a little on my comfort zone.
Yeah,
there.
tries. I've seen you actually come up on the floor. There's people that will come to DBG's and not even go near the dance floor.
I've been on the floor.
I've seen you. Oh, I've seen you.
I've been in there a couple times where I just stayed at the bar.
Yeah,
yeah, that's usually me.
But
now, I mean, so you guys review like national albums, like major releases and things like that. Do you think like your role as far as local music is more a promotional aspect or more of a critical aspect? Like, are you guys afraid? We were talking about this earlier on a part that might not air, but are you afraid to be critical of local bands? Like, because now you guys, now you meet these people. Like, people 2 years ago that you never even thought you would know. Now you're friends with some of these people, or at least
it's to a point. We can critique in a professional way, rather than just hating on an entire band. But one of our main focuses is if it's local, we can't just destroy it. We are promoting these bands because someone might like it, whether one of us doesn't. There is someone out there that might, and we want them to get out there. Whereas if it's the national scene, we can crush them.
Well, sometimes our policy is if it's local and you don't like it, just don't write about it.
Yeah.
I know that basically that same motto is like used with like some restaurant reviews.
Exactly.
Like people just will, instead of ripping a place apart, they just won't say anything.
If I were a band, I'd want someone to give me. I wouldn't want someone, blowing smoke up my the whole time. I would like to get some critiquing back, but we have been yelled at before, and people write nasty posts, and because we've shown them in a bad light.
Yeah, well, Buffalo's
play better music.
Well, Buffalo's a small town. If you say something about somebody, like they're going to hear about it, very fast. So,
Yeah.
But that's just been a little tightrope.
But yeah, when it's national, we don't care.
Yeah, and we
get a lot of crap for that too, because they think we hit too much on the national scene. But
well, we don't want to be, and we've been accused of this. We don't want to rehash Pitchfork or any of these blogs. But some stuff is news. Like if a band like Radiohead, it's got a new album out.
Yeah.
I want it on our blog. Because I'm sure people know that, but like I don't want to just ignore this. But
Not to mention that's massive amounts of hits.
Yeah.
People Google Radiohead.
At the same time, I don't want us to just, plagiarize what Pitchfork wrote, because that's not the point.
But if a big band's playing in Buffalo, that is Buffalo news. Like, that's Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes if it's a slow day in Buffalo, I mean, we still want content on our sites. Like, it was a little slower today, and I wrote a post about Beach House. I like Beach House, and I tried to link it to Buffalo because they played here a while ago. Even if it's national, I try to somehow link it into the city in some way or another.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easier than others, but...
How often do you guys go out to shows per week?
Oh God! In the beginning, I know, like when Katie and I were going, we were probably 2, 3, 4 a week. Because passes were just flying out. Now I can't even bring myself to go like twice a week. Mac does still.
Because like every time you guys have a podcast, you're like, so what'd you see this week? Yeah. And it's like every week you guys do it.
Well, I love live music. Like I love music, but at the same time, I get burnt out from it. If there's a national act coming in, of course I want to see them. But there's some local bands that like I really, really want to see, and there's others that I know like, well, if I don't see them this week, they'll probably be playing in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
and it's fun. Like Young Empires, I think it was probably like 6 or 7 months ago, came through. Actually, it might have been a year ago, and they played at.
Was that the one at Bayville?
It was at Bayville.
Yeah, that was like last summer, I think.
I remember being cold out, so...
that was last winter.
The fact that you guys can remember even specific concerts at this point is impressive.
And our friends' Love Scenes opened, and so we were going to support them, and then Young Empires ended up being awesome. But that turned into having a late-night dinner with them at the North, and then hanging out with them till like 3 in the morning, and it's like...
A dinner at the North?
Yeah, good food.
I've actually never been there.
Probably some of the best mac and cheese you might ever have.
And really good wings.
This is under the Lennox, right?
Right underneath the Lennox, yeah.
I've heard that they have an amazing burger.
I don't know. They have a thing called...
Their food's very good.
It's called the Hat Trick or something like that. It's chicken fingers, mac and cheese, and something else. It's one of those little things. But
man.
The mac and cheese is like that crispy, like oily type deal.
Oh my God.
Good stuff.
I've heard like great things. And then I saw like Keith Buckley, the singer of Every Time I Die, was bartending there the one night. Like he posted on Twitter. He's like, come on down or something like that.
There's been a new management there, and I've noticed that they like do a lot of like celebrity bartenders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Is he a celebrity bartender? I don't know. But like, I think
local celebrity.
James, who writes for us, lives at the Lennox.
Really?
So he frequents...
it's half hotel, half apartment.
Yeah, Bill used to live there as well before he moved. They were roommates.
And there's a top secret entrance in the back of the bar up to the hotel.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Little cave and everything.
Right.
But the whole concert thing I was gonna get at is, are you guys impacted by the crowds at a show? Like, will that interfere with your enjoyment of a concert if you notice that there's either a crappy crowd or either one way or the other, just people who are super annoying or a complete bore fest?
Definitely. But I have been to shows where there was like 8 people, and it was the most rowdy, awesome group I've ever been with, because no one knew who this band was, and they ended up killing it. And it's like, wow, I wish 100 people had been here, but no, I just got the show. Like that Young Empire show, there was what, 9, 10 people?
And like all the people that were there were like fans of Love Scenes.
Yeah. We all went to see our friends, and this Young Empires, who was pretty big out of Brooklyn, I think.
I thought they were Canadian.
Were they? They had just played. They had just played in the city. I don't know, but we ended up going crazy for them. And there was like 5 of us. So.
But has it in the past though? Does that ever affect you? Like if
it affects me. That's why I stopped going to Dave Matthews shows because of the crowd.
Yeah, but in a local aspect, definitely. You can 20 people and they're just obnoxious and boring, and they're not, or just talking like on their cell phones, and it's especially at Mohawk, like there's room for that. Get out of here. But
the worst place for that is at the Tralf. This isn't anything against the Tralf, but the bar is right kind of on top of the stage, and that's the people at the bar can like drown out the music.
Oh, really?
Like I was there for, I saw like the National there. And I think it was for the National show, and like I was right up front at the stage, and I could hear everybody at the bar. Like that affects me a lot.
Yeah.
But some venues it's not too bad.
No.
Yeah. But that one in particular.
Do you think there's like any underused venues? right now? Like, is there a place that you wish you saw more concerts there?
I don't know. Do you have anything?
No, I mean maybe the Vault. I guess would be
because
Vault's a pretty cool space.
It's really cool, and not enough people use it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. In there.
Everything else gets used pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
But I always tell Mac, even on the bigger front, there's the Town Ballroom, and then there's Darien Lake. There's nothing in between there.
Yeah.
So we got M83 playing at the Town Ballroom. We don't want them playing at Darien Lake.
Yeah.
So you're stuck with a really sold out show at Town Ballroom and nothing in between. Yeah. There needs to be something just a little bit bigger.
There are some venues here like that, like UB, Center for the Arts, like Kleinans, like Shays, but they don't really venture into.
And that's a whole different atmosphere.
It's so different. You can't.
Well, yeah, but I think that's a nice atmosphere. Like I saw, it's nice. And Chris, I know how much you like him, Bon Iver, in Toronto in December at Massey Hall in a theater, and I like the theater setting. Like
that's a perfect theater setting.
Yeah, like my knees are shot after like standing for like a half hour at a show, and sometimes like I find myself like looking at my phone, and be like, "Is this one's work?" Because like I can't stand any longer. Maybe I'm old. I don't know.
No, I get that. Well, I feel old because I get that exact same way.
So, but like I think it'd be nice like if those theaters did a few more shows, and they have to be more selective because not every band wants to do seated venues, which we may or may not have recorded earlier. I forgot when we started recording. But it'd be nice if those venues got utilized more. I mean, Kleinhans is getting Death Cab for Cutie.
Yeah. Because they also have an orchestra. So that's...
Yeah, true.
That's perfect.
Oh, yeah.
They're bringing that San Francisco something or other.
Yeah.
So what are...
actually, the pier. Where they're not the pier, but
I was gonna say that. I thought the pier closed down.
No, where they've been having the Thursdays in the Square. The second half.
Yeah,
the Harbor.
Yeah.
They should just get rid of that and make that an actual
venue?
Weekly venue.
They kind of have that in Cleveland. They have like a little place right on the
near the Hall of Fame, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw Incubus.
They have one in Rochester, the High Falls.
Yeah.
Those are all perfect venues for big bands.
Yeah.
Not just Thursday in the Square.
Yeah.
Thursday should stay in the city where it was, but that's just me.
So, do you guys have any big goals for 2012 as far as the blog goes? I mean, I know you have a concert coming up. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a sec. I'd like us to get into some more festival coverage if possible. I mean, we did a couple. We did Bonnaroo and we did Modown.
No, we did Camp Bisco.
Oh, Camp Bisco.
But that's tough.
I know that's tough, and
I'm still 25. I'm going to a festival as a 25-year-old, not as a reporter. So
maybe it's not a realistic goal, but like I would love it if we can start to get some like festival coverage. Other goals, I don't know. I guess I haven't thought that far.
I don't know. Just get some more like concrete structure.
Yeah.
Find a way to turn this into a real promotion type thing. Something that we're not trying to make money, but something that could ultimately have that goal in mind.
Yeah. It's understandable.
Record label, maybe.
I thought it'd be cool to have like a record label.
There's
I thought that'd be really cool.
There's only a few out there right now, and we know enough people that record. And
basically what you're going against.
Can they record cake? Can they record on your GarageBand commercial program
right in my kitchen?
But yes, should we talk?
Get an iPad.
Should we talk about the party?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you should definitely talk about
the
party.
I guess on the goals. I mean, it's already goals happening. But it's...
Do you have a set lineup and everything?
Yeah, it's at the end of the month. It's our second birthday party.
Well, it's going to be in 5 days, I think. This is going up to Tuesday before it.
Okay. Well,
March 31st.
It's in a couple days then. March 31st at Nietzsche's. Music begins at 10 o'clock. Mm-hmm. The lineup is Andrew J. Reimer's Country Punk Extravaganza, which
You're getting good at saying that.
Yeah,
yes, which is kind of like an alt country, kind of like early Wilco, Uncle Tupelo type stuff, Sunvolt, that kind of thing. And then we have Early Attic, which is kind of post rock type stuff, little Interpol, little Explosions in the Sky, good stuff, little moodier type stuff. After that, we have On Beta, which is a 3-piece band on the Harvest Sun label, which I mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. 4 members of the Old Sweethearts, and a couple of the guys, Andy Vaith, who plays bass, is in Johnny Nobody. And a couple of them are in Mark Norris and the Backpedalers, and a couple of them help out with Roger Bryan and the Orphans, and all those guys kind of are in each other's bands.
Yeah.
And then the last band we have is Ram Farinkas, who we were talking about this earlier. I still don't really know how to describe them. They're like jazz, grunge, rock,
jamming, yeah.
Wow.
Bunch of stuff. And then between sets, so all these bands will be playing on the backstage at Nietzsche's. Between sets, we'll have Voodoo Friends, who is a DJ, not in the sense of like a dubstep DJ. He does more
singer-songwriters with the loop synth,
samples, synths, that kind of thing. He'll be playing in between the sets when the bands are breaking down, setting up. So there's constant music.
Nice.
And he's a guy we just did that BuffaBLOG video with. If you saw in the blog, we filmed a mini concert in James's apartment of him playing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was real. And it was it was a Sunday.
It was a Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon. It was snowing like crazy, so we got a really cool backdrop of the snow, and we'd like to do some more of those. Like I said,
how have the concerts been? Like, I mean, this is your second.
This is our third party at Nietzsche's. We did a rooftop party as a part of the Infringement Festival over the summer on the rooftop of the Broadway Market.
Yes, I was there.
Which got a good crowd, but we had a little rain scare that day, and I think some people
sunburned, though.
Yeah, some people I don't think even know where it was, and it was kind of just like a random thing, but it didn't cost us any money. It was just it was a great thing to be part of, and we had a blast.
Yeah, ended up getting a decent show.
But this is our third.
It's cool to be up there.
Yeah, this is our third, and I think we might be doing it again this summer, in some fashion. But this is our third kind of big party at Nietzsche's.
Yeah,
we've had really good crowds both times. I think we've had around 350 people each one.
Awesome.
I mean, we've filled up Nietzsche's.
I think the holiday party was even more than our first birthday party.
Yeah, the holiday party had a huge crowd.
Yeah.
Huge crowd.
I think that's what I brought you to. My brother.
It was December 16th, I think.
Yeah. It's his 21st birthday was a couple days before, so it was like
I'm glad
a nice...
you got to celebrate with us. So I mean, we have high hopes for this. I mean...
And that's why we try to keep it not so many.
How hard is it to list down the bands at this point?
This one was more difficult than others. Do you have actually like bands like trying to throw their name in there? We've had some bands express to us to be like, "Hey, we'd love to play your next
already
party."
Think they're playing.
I mean, I kind of put together the lineup for the holiday party, and it was so easy. Like, I mean, I had a lineup. Once I figured out who I wanted, I had the lineup within like 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, they were all confirmed. This one was a little more difficult, and it wasn't anything against the bands. Just sometimes we had conflicts.
Yeah.
But it's in the end, it wasn't that bad. The first part I wasn't really involved in because I just kind of started at that point.
That one was a pain in the ass. It was like we knew who we wanted.
Yeah.
Nietzsche's essentially was already trying to get those bands anyway, so they just kind of gave us the title. But we had, I think, 2 bands with people under 21. Half of Bird Day was under 21.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Nietzsche's is uncommonly strict about it, which they should be. It's a law.
Yeah.
But like they had to go sit up in the attic while
they weren't
playing. And
Julian,
did they really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Julian,
had to.
The drummer had to go sit up. He had to go sit up in the attic by himself. And like,
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Why don't they just like put like a black X on their face?
I remember Jay didn't know like until like minutes beforehand if they were even going to be able to be like allowed.
It was
in there.
It was back and forth for weeks. Like, we don't know if we want to play. That's kind of a slap in our face.
That's a big issue for them. I mean, for the bar.
For a 45-minute show where you got to drag all your crap in and drag it out, and now we can't even hang out with our friends and family afterwards.
That was when that Lloyd was there too, right?
That was we got Lloyd.
Oh, that was a pain.
That was a
it was nothing. It was not Lloyd's fault. Like, I don't know who got the idea. Maybe it was my idea. I don't even remember. It was just like, hey, why don't we, like, and this is when Lloyd's first started. I'm like, that's like taco truck to see if they want to come.
Yeah, and Lloyd was nothing. Like, no one knew who that was.
So I got a hold of Pete, who's kind of like, I guess, the business side of it.
The businessman.
And he was all for it. It's like, I don't think he knew who we were, but I kind of just said, hey, check out our blog. We're doing this party. I'd love if you come. He's like, yeah, we'd love to do it. We need, to get some space for us. I'm like, okay, well, what if, can we put you on the street of Allen? He's like, no, we can't do that because it takes so much space. So we had to get the...
I was up at 7 a.m. It's like 10 degrees outside. Sick, real sick. And like, I had to park 2 cars like horizontally
in the Nietzsche's
parking lot all day, so I had no car.
And then we had then I'm like, call me as soon as you're there because I got to get these cars out of here and I don't know where I'm going to put them. And we got them in there. We just got them in, and it turned out to be a great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like right off the bat, no one was getting them. We're like, uh-oh.
Because I don't think
they literally prepared for a dinner service.
I don't think Lloyd's is quite the name that they were at this point.
It was only a couple months.
This was March of 2011.
I must have got on the mic like 6 times. Like, there are tacos out there.
But now, I mean, I don't think they'd have any issue.
I
thought of calling them again.
They would bring
I thought of calling them again for this, and Maybe I still could, but
They can't now with the right.
No, they can.
They can do
as
that
long as
with-
they're not within 100 feet of a restaurant.
Right, but that they're 100. They would at least be 100 feet from DBGB's.
Yeah, DBGB's.
It depends how late they serve food.
Right.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
We'll see. If they're listening to this,
Because they were
give
parked
us a
across
call.
the street from Thirsty Buffalo last weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they were.
from like 12 to 3, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, like once the kitchen's closed, then they can.
Yeah. Well,
And they're the
Or
only,
if they have like a verbal thing where the guy, they're
Yeah.
cool with it.
they're the only ones with the license right now, right?
someone
and
else
Roman
got a
Buffalo
license.
just
Yeah.
got
They just got
I
it.
saw a picture.
And I think the cheesy chick is getting it this week.
Because I heard
The grilled cheese lady.
Yeah.
I think you just interviewed the Roman Buffalo, right? They were making some shots.
I would love.
Lloyd
for
can
their-
afford it.
I know we're going to talk about food a little later. I'd love if there was, like, in the summer, like, a food truck with, like, clams. Like, a seafood food truck.
Oh,
That'd be-
that's risky, though.
That'd be hard.
I know it would be. I love clams.
Like, you could steam them, but...
Where are they getting them from? Like,
Right. and One person gets violently ill of clams.
But where did any of these places get them from?
Yeah,
So
but
someone can't get
that's I
violent-
think the problem with Buffalo. I think there's a lack of really good fresh seafood.
Yeah, I don't know. But
If I'm getting clams, I'm making sure I'm buying the most frozen ones ever.
man,
and
I
I'm
go to
grilling
Empty
them.
Pockets for clams. That place is good.
Empty
Clams.
pockets.
Really? You,
Yes.
you go to Empty Pockets?
I used to live right off Hurdle for 3 years. That's where I go.
Do you have your hair slicked back?
No.
No?
Yeah, that's true though.
I am half Italian, but I don't think that the Italian half shows through. Yeah. All right.
Well, why don't we jump into the food aspect
While
of this
we're here.
conversation
Okay,
while we're
right.
here? Do you guys eat out a lot? I mean, probably it's not as much as you guys go out to see concerts, but
As much as I can.
Yeah.
I like to try the new stuff. I mean, I don't know how about you, but I guess because you try so much different stuff with your blog.
well, we pretty much don't redo any restaurants.
Right.
Yeah, that's our problem.
I mean, it gets pricey too, but like even that Geno's just opened up on Elmwood across from Zeddy's, which is literally two New York style pizza
Oh, it's,
places
yeah.
right across from each
That
other.
place is pretty good.
I
And
got
that's-
tired of Zeddy's. I just went there before I came over here. It's awesome.
And that's the Geno's from Geno's and Joe's. From
Yeah,
the main
it's
place
another
now.
part of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
And nothing's been able to last there. There was an avenue there, I think, and
yeah, it's been all types of.
but I mean that's just pizza. But yeah, I mean,
have you had anything good lately? Anything new?
actually, well, I was just in Syracuse. That was delicious, but that doesn't count.
That's not local, Chris.
Shish. When that Vera's opened up, that
Yeah.
was pretty cool to give
Oh,
some
yeah.
of that. Like, was it the brick oven pizza?
Yeah, kind of. It's they use a kind of a traditional pizza, but they cook it on a pizza stone,
Yeah.
so it gets a little bit hotter, but it's not
Yeah, I ate there
exactly
last Friday. It's
Yeah.
good. I've had 2 drinks there once, and I was like floored.
You just
Lord.
And broke.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I was just to say I lucked out. I ordered 3 drinks, and for some reason they only put 2, and I thought it was like the greatest night of my life. I saved $10.
You just found $10
I was
on the
there.
ground. That's
I
what
was
it's
there
like.
around I think Christmas time, and the girls I was there with kept giving me this menu, and it said you can only buy these like pre-made drinks for $10. I got tired of buying $10 drinks. I was like, they're like, oh, we have Great Lakes beer. I was like, yeah, I'll have one of those.
Their beer's actually
She's
very
like
cheap.
$2. I was
Yeah,
like,
the beer's cheap.
I've been buying $10 drinks, and these are 2.
Actually, the biggest scam, it's not a scam there, but like if you're gonna get a mixed drink, you got to get like one of their like good ones, because if you just get like a rum and coke, it's like $8.
Yeah.
But if you pay $2 more, you get like one of their like quality drinks.
Hey guys, I promised the last time I'm jumping in here, but I'd tell you about another sponsor of today's podcast, VIPseats.com. Score your Buffalo Sabres tickets at VIP Seats. Select seats starting as low as $44. Call 1-800-371-6323 or visit VIPseats.com. And now, for the rest of the podcast.
I try to go out to eat quite a bit. I think I'm a bit of a food guy.
I mean, you're
I'm
hitting me up a lot.
Yeah, I'm also a very
whenever
adventurous eater. Like I like trying like weird stuff. Like
Yeah.
I go overseas like every summer, and I try like a lot of really
you just
weird stuff.
we're in Iceland.
Last year I went to Iceland
Yeah.
and the Czech Republic. In Iceland I had.
See, I've heard that Iceland has bad food.
I love the food. I had whale like on a skewer.
Like not fermented.
No, I had fermented shark.
Oh.
That was horrific. Like I had a pretty serious cold the day I tried it, and me and my buddy both had it. But it was like burning through my nostrils, like burning. And we had to go into this like seedy like flea market to find it, and go through like all this like weird stuff. And then we find this like fish market in the back, and I'm like, well, this doesn't seem like a very good environment for a fish market, anyways. And we found it. It was in like a little like one of those like little like condiment cups, and like in these little cubes, like little like fatty cubes. And we tried it, and we're like, this is gonna be awful, and it was pretty awful.
Yeah, I'm extremely picky. when I eat, so I don't.
I'm not picky at all. I try
don't venture out of my safety area too often.
Yeah, so you're not going to be eating.
So shark and
you're not going to be going to the Ethiopian restaurant that's open.
Oh, I will go there.
I can't wait.
Probably not.
The best local thing I've had lately, like new local thing, would probably have to be either. I really enjoyed No No. No No or No No.
No No.
No No.
Yeah.
Why are those extra O's on there? That's misleading.
I don't know, but he was here, and so I can
That's
confirm.
Right. That's right.
So No, and I haven't had Cantina Loco sit down. I've only had Cantina Loco takeout.
Yeah,
I really liked it. Like I compared them to I'm comparing them to Lloyd's. I think Lloyd's is a better bang for your buck, and it's slightly bigger. But the thing about Cantina Loco was it wasn't as greasy as Lloyd's.
See, I disagree.
You thought it was? You thought Lloyd? I think Lloyd's is pretty greasy. Not that there's
I don't.
Greasy.
Not that. I think Lloyd's. What do you get normally at Lloyd?
Like a pork taco, pork burrito.
I get the pork every time too. But I had the chorizo at Cantina Loco, and it was a grease fest.
Really?
Yeah, it went through my paper thing.
I had the Korean taco and then just like the pork.
I think their Korean
burrito.
taco is fantastic.
That's awesome.
And maybe better than anything Lloyd has.
But it's $6 for a fairly small taco.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could just pay $1 more for a massive burrito. But it's not the Korean one.
No.
Yeah, both times I've tried to go there, it was 45-minute wait.
Oh, yeah, it's packed every night.
But I did just have Lloyd's tricked out nachos for the first time.
Oh.
Those are phenomenal.
Tricked out nachos?
Yeah, it's $6 for just a
It is
massive.
That I think is one of the best bangs for your bucks of all time.
Easy. I don't even like onions, and there's those like sweet pink
pickled
onions.
red onion.
Oh my god,
the pickled red onions are awesome.
Wow.
I'll have to get that next time.
Yeah. But I have hit up I went to the Polar Bites.
Yeah.
The fundraiser for the zoo over at the convention center, and they had some really good samples there. I think it was the Roaming Buffalo had their chocolate chili. Yeah. Which was out of this world.
I still don't understand what chocolate chili is. You've told me about this.
And it had sour cream infused chipotle on top.
So what is the chocolate element to it?
I think they just add
there's actually dark chocolate in the chili.
Kind of like
but it was
like Aztec, like hot chocolate.
Yeah, the way Lloyd does the Aztec.
I've never had that.
Oh, and then they have the
it's
Aztec
really just
brownie.
hot chocolate with, I think, cayenne pepper in it.
Yeah. Either way, it was
Speaking of Lloyd's. Speaking of Lloyd's.
All right.
And this is not what I'm getting into. What do you think of me? This whole Kickstarter campaign of theirs. I've seen a lot of people criticizing them.
Yeah.
Because they're basically saying they're panhandling.
Uh-huh.
Like a lot of bands would do Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Like the Tins did Kickstarter.
Exactly.
I know Love Scenes is planning on doing a Kickstarter thing. But these are non-profit bands.
Yeah, and people who are
Lloyd's
donating
is a for-profit company. And I'm not trying to bash this. I just want to see what your guys' opinion are. Lloyd's is a for-profit company.
Yeah.
And they're asking us to help them get a second truck, which I think is great because I think it'd be good for a second truck.
Yeah.
But like, what's your opinion of this? I mean, the fact that they're making money already, can't they just take out a loan?
Have you ever bought a truck?
No, I'm not. But
See,
but this is basically just it's saying like it's like a restaurant saying, hey, we want to open up a second location. Can you help us pay for it?
Why not?
Yeah, but I think like
I'm not saying I'm for or against it. I'm just curious. I've seen a lot of people like on Buffalo Rising did a post on it.
If you read any Buffalo Rising article,
people love to bash that. But I never thought about it until I read that.
Yeah.
It just made me think.
Well, I mean, when you look at it from like the band aspect, that's a whole nother thing because most of the time those are struggling bands that don't have any.
Well, I think that's
cheap to record.
Is saying that like Lloyd's is like. They seem to be
doing
pretty well for
It's hard to see that though. I mean, they're selling $2 tacos, and a truck costs at least $40,000 to $80,000. Like,
right. And now the permit's what, $1,000?
I know. And I'm not bashing Lloyd's. I support this. Like, I plan on giving them money towards this. I'm just curious.
Donated.
I was curious what you guys thought of that. Like with people calling that they say they're basically panhandling.
But not to mention there's the rewards too. You know, you get 10, you get a taco, you get 50, you get... So at least it's not let's give us money, we're giving you nothing.
Yeah, it's not
back.
like a can drive or anything.
Right. And if someone's actually going to donate $2,000, they get a free party. That's kind of cool.
I was going to do more like $20 bucks.
$20,000?
I did 20.
No.
That's what I did.
Yeah, because I want a taco.
Yeah, you get a taco, and I think you get a bottle of their hot sauce.
Yes.
And that's well worth it.
Which is at Wegmans now.
And a sticker.
Yeah.
Which is super cool.
Yeah. I understand the feedback from it. I mean, the taco trucks in general are a divisive issue. And I think a lot of those people maybe had unsure feelings about the taco or the trucks in general, and that this is just another thing that they kind of want to complain about. But I don't know. I mean, they have every right to. They have to be approved by Kickstarter too. Like,
and you don't have to give them money. And you don't have to give them money.
Right.
True. But I mean, they're not the only company to ever ask.
Oh, I know.
Like, I mean, like, there's people who, like, video game companies. A guy just raised $2.5 million to make a video game, and it's a well-known developer.
Yeah, the only reason I brought it up is because it's the first time I've like really heard someone complain about it. And maybe it's just the first time I've noticed it.
Yeah,
and I never thought of it until that, because I've always supported Kickstarter. I think it's a really good campaign. Whatever you want to call it.
I think so too. It's a great idea in general. But I don't know. I actually was the same way. I didn't think anyone would be against it when I first heard it, and then I started seeing the feedback, and I see the outline of it, like what they're making so much money, but I don't think that they're rolling in cash as much as everyone else.
But say they do get this second truck, is it going to be remotely in the same area, or are they going to try and span
the new truck?
I got the impression was that one's going to be in the city and one's going to be
because I went
that's what it's going to be,
which is good because I work in the suburbs now, and I like to have their.
I went to Maine and what's their main post?
Mohawk.
Maine and Mohawk.
Yeah,
45 minutes.
Yeah,
for 2 tacos with my mom.
Yeah,
she was okay to wait.
I love it if they came to
it was delicious, but if they had 2 trucks where I could at least separate.
Yeah, I mean, what they're gonna do is, and this is what Pete told me, is that they want to have the older truck because it's kind of get beaten up, stay in the city. Yeah, probably Maine and Mohawk 5 days a week or something like that, or like First Niagara Center, whatever. Yeah. But then the other one's the new one. All around the place. That one's going to be the traveling truck.
Speaking of, actually, with this Bandcamp, too, I don't remember...
Kickstarter.
What did I say?
Bandcamp.
Yeah, sorry. This Kickstarter thing. I don't remember the donation amount, but you get a ride-along in the truck.
Yeah. You get
what does that consist of? You, like, just chill up front?
Would it be hilarious if you have to cook?
On the Zamboni?
Like getting a police ride-along?
I think it would just be hilarious if you had to cook, like, the whole day.
Just waving along.
I gave you $1,000 and I got to make tacos?
Yeah, you're just grilling taco after taco.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, that was kind of a crazy thing that came out of nowhere.
Hey, I hope they get a second truck. I'd like them to come to the suburbs.
Yeah, seriously, as much tacos.
I used to work in the South Towns and never went there. Now I work in the North Towns and they never go there.
And you don't get funded, right, if you don't hit the right amount.
The people don't even get charged, too.
Okay. Do you, in order to join Kickstarter, do you have to like pay like a small fee?
I'm sure that they take a percentage.
I know they take a percentage. I think they take like 10% or something like that. Or maybe it's even smaller, maybe 2%. But like, if I want to like make an album,
they have to approve it. Like Kickstarter has to approve it. Like,
but
not everyone
do I have to pay them like
$100
$100 to get started? Is it something
so.
like that?
Right?
Okay.
Can I do like the Chris Seymour Kickstarter?
I would never support that.
Yes, you would.
Would you guys ever consider it for BuffaBLOG?
It actually crossed my mind.
I've been meaning to bring that up to you.
Yeah, I don't know. What would we do it for?
Like a concert or a record label?
Right, like something where we could actually like get like an outdoor thing going on, like in the summer.
Because the outdoor concert that was a Kickstarter too, right?
Steak and Cake.
Yeah,
they didn't do Kickstarter. They just did various fundraisers and like promotional concerts leading up to it. Like they did a couple of concerts at the Vaults.
Yeah,
with a couple artists that may or may not have been on the final bill, and they did like Brandon, who runs Steak and Cake, he had like a little backyard show where you pay like $5. You get like a beer and a hot dog. And
we could raise money for a party or something.
Yeah, I mean he just really had to pay for the permit, and I think like trash cans, and I don't think it was like that much money.
I remember it was like 1,000 maybe. Or
and then the stage, I think the stage was supplied by like WBNY, or at least sound was.
And there was a decent amount of cops walking around, but there had to have been 100 people drinking. No,
I was drinking.
Not even. I was definitely, but there was.
I had this massive bottle of sangria.
That's true. You did. It was weird. But yeah, how did we get away with that? But on top of the Broadway market, we got screamed at.
Oh yeah, we were sneaking serious drinks at the Broadway market.
They were not happy about that,
and they told us that we were okay originally to do that. Well, what do you know?
There was that sheriff with the ponytail.
Yeah.
Breaking the log, you guys.
Yeah. So maybe Kickstarter down the road. I had thought of that, but I wasn't sure. It would have to be the right project.
Yeah, we'd have to come up with something real.
I don't know what the project would be.
Yeah.
Because anything we've done right now, we've just paid for on our own, and if we make a little money from the party, it just recoups our expenses.
Nice.
All right. How do we end this smoothly?
I don't know. I'll just say thank you guys for coming down here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I'm looking forward to the concert.
Yes, us too.
Oh, our concert, yeah.
Yeah, your concert.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this. It was fun.
Yeah. Sorry about your wall.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
All right.
All right.